I'm sad. I'm going to boost my confidence up. I'm going to talk to you about my dark horse player for this week. Let's see if you can guess. And really, the only hint I have for this player is that he is coming off 2 bad weeks of production, fantasy production, in a row. And he is a running back. That's all you got. I'll pause the screen. That's not true. I'm not going to pause it. I'm just going to sit here quietly for about 5 seconds and let you think. Who is a running back who has had 2 poor weeks in a row in terms of fantasy production? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Didn't get it yet? Here's another hint. He plays on a team with a losing record. I'll give you another 5 seconds. Here's another hint. He is also a rookie this year. A rookie running back on a losing team, and he's coming off of 2 down weeks. Do you know it yet? Well, if you haven't guessed it already, it's time to tell you. Almost said Dameon Harris. Dameon Pierce, running back for the Houston Texans, is my dark horse for week 13 of the NFL season, and here's why. Yes, I understand. He has had 2 horrendous displays of production. Some might claim he even hit the rookie wall over the last couple of weeks. Hold your horses there, all right? There are things to be said on this matter, and I'm going to state them right now, okay? He played Washington just a number of weeks ago. They are our top 3 defense against the run. That game was also out of hand. They were playing from behind. I get it. Last week, they go up against Miami, top 8 against the run. Miami took Tua out in the third quarter. That game was also out of hand. This week is different, and I'm going to paint a narrative here, and I want you to listen. Take it or leave it. Do what you must. But this is what I have to offer in the regards to Dameon Pierce this week. Let me just brush up my vocal cords here. This week they play Cleveland. It is a complete 180 from the type of defenses that they have been playing, because Cleveland is number 2 in giving up rushing production in terms of fantasy to the running back position. That is what we call in the business juicy. A juicy matchup for Dameon Pierce this week. Okay? I understand what you're saying. There's also another side plot going on here, and that is the return of Deshaun Watson coming back to Houston, ready to take on the Houston Texans and show them what's up. There's definitely a scenario where Deshaun Watson comes out and lights the world on fire. But I do believe that it is entirely more likely that Deshaun Watson comes back and has to knock some rust off. Okay? He hasn't played football in 2 years. All right? 2 years. The last time we saw him was in the preseason, where I believe he was 1 for 7 and 8 yards. He didn't look good. Now, I get it. He's had practice. He's had other things going on. He's been keeping in good physical health and condition. But real live action football is a completely different scenario for Deshaun Watson. And I don't think, even though I do believe, because I'm not ruling it out, I just don't think he comes back and is immediately impacting this game. Especially when you have to think about how Houston has been sneaky good against opposing QBs this year. They rank 30th in the league. Or I'm sorry, they ranked, third or second in the league. Or third in the league. Third in the league. Watch me try to figure out numbers. They rank third in the league in defending and production of the fantasy value position and quarterback. So they play the quarterbacks very well. That also kind of correlates with the wide receivers, which is why they're upper echelon in terms of defending the wide receiver in fantasy production. Okay? So how does this all relate to Dameon Pierce? I believe that there is an entirely better possibility here where Dameon Pierce gets his work done early in this game. They look to establish the run. They look to get him involved. Kyle Allen came out last week for his first start of the year. He didn't look anything good. So clearly with Davis Mills and Kyle Allen, there's nothing to be had there. What they do have is they have talent at the running back position. I understand Rex Burkhead is on track to maybe possibly come back. I get that. But they got to establish something. And they're going to do it on the ground against a very, very vulnerable Cleveland Browns defense. Okay? So with that being said, I don't think the reunion is going to be bittersweet. I think it's going to be downright ugly. I think that this game, matter of fact, if you're listening out there, give me the spread on the Browns-Houston Texans this week. That's the game that I want to keep an eye on. I don't think it's all flowers and dandies for Deshaun Watson. I think he comes out and he struggles a bit, maybe in the first half. And I think that's enough time for Dameon Pierce to get the job done early. Hopefully, he finds the end zone. That's what I'm banking on here. And all stats show that it's very likely that he could. Listen, he's got a 13-point sleeper projection this week, according to Sleeper. I can see him getting 15 points easily. That puts him in running back 2 discussion. You're going to find out in my rankings here very shortly that he is in that running back 2 discussion. These are just a couple of running backs that I enjoy more. I always get that wrong. These are a couple of running backs that I would rather sit and start Dameon Pierce over. Kamara, Rachaad White, Jeff Wilson, Miles Sanders, Devin Singletary, and Zeke, the Greek Zeke himself, Ezekiel Elliott. Those are all guys that I think are going to perform far less, more, whatever. Why do I always mess it up? I don't know. My brain moves too fast. My mouth moves too fast for my brain. But for all those reasons and some more, Dameon Pierce, running back for the Houston Texans, he finds success this week, and he should be in your fantasy lineups.